Goeiemôre, Raaste Hoogwaard. Dit is Diana en toe 'n toetsloopie, kan u vir my hoor?
Môre Rihanna, ja, ek kan jou baie hard en duidelik hoor. Gaat dit goed? Dankie.
Baie bevestig. Môre, juffrou James, dit is Rihanna en toe 'n toetsloopie, kan jy vir my hoor?
Môre Jana, jy kan, dankie.
Ek kan dieselfde bevestig, dankie.
Good morning, everybody. Can we start settle down, please? It's 11 o'clock. Morning, everybody. Okay. If we are all settled, Rihanna, before I officially start, I just want to make sure we don't have a problem with YouTube again this morning, like previously. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning, Executive Mayor, Executive Deputy Mayor, all aldermen, elder ladies, all councillors in the chambers, as well as those that are joining us online. All HODs, all staff members. Welcome to the meeting. That's very important. Not that the other meetings are not important, but today is a special, or let me not say special because it's as a baie seerpuntjie ook vandag. We are saying goodbye to the current executive mayor. It's his last meeting. So welcome once again. The mayor will do his official things when it is his time under point number 8. So we will go as on our agenda, we will do the evacuation procedure. And then I will ask Ms. Androline Killian to come and do a short scripture and a prayer for us.
Good day, everyone present in our council chambers. Today, I would like to share the crucial topic of emergency evacuation procedures in case of an unexpected event. An emergency can take many forms and may pose an immediate threat to your safety and that of others. If such a situation arises, the alarm system will be activated, prompting us to take action. In the event of an emergency, please follow these steps. When you hear the alarm sound, head towards the nearest exit. In this case, the closest exit is through door E25, which leads to the stoep. Once you enter the room, proceed to the second door that leads outside and down the steps to ground level. From there, please make your way to the space where the solar panels are located. This is the designated assembly point for our head office, and it has been identified as the safest area in such an emergency. Please remember to maintain a calm demeanor while making your way to the assembly point. Avoid running, shouting, or pushing others, as these actions may lead to unnecessary chaos and injuries. At all times, your safety is our top priority. We remind you, in the case of an emergency, move calmly and evacuate the building promptly. Thank you.
Androline, thank you.
Firstly, I would like to greet everyone. I would like to greet our mayor, our deputy mayor, our speaker, our our HODs, and all the councillors and everyone that is present. It is once again a privilege to be here to share a word of encouragement. Not that it's always easy to stand here, but by the help of the Holy Spirit, it is always an honor. My scripture reading will be coming from the second Corinthians 12, verse 9. It says, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in your weakness." When I looked through my Bible and go through this, it is words that God has shared with our Apostle Paulus when he has basically looked at himself and saw a lot of faults in what he has done. Yet God is a God of mercy and a God of grace. And he was only there trying to tell him that in your weakness am I strong. And I can only be there, or I can only be shown as God when you accept me through your weakness. God's grace is not limited by entirely enough to sustain individuals through every circumstance. God's strength is shown through a person's own ability, but is perfect and made evident when we are weak and acknowledge that we depend on him. And also when we boast and know that without God we are nothing. That is the most important thing, that we need him in everything that we do, in every decision that we take, in every way that we're going through, that without God we are nothing. And yet the Bible is trying to tell us that his grace is sufficient whether we know or we don't know, whether we are sure or unsure. His grace is sufficient. He promised in his word that he will never leave nor forsake us when we depend 100% on him. So with those words, I would like us to close our eyes. Heavenly Father, you are God, and with your word, you have created heaven and earth. And this morning, Father God, we thank you that once again, you are giving us the surety that in everything is your grace sufficient for us. As our counselors and our leaders is sitting today here, Heavenly Father, I pray, God, that you shall lead them in your ways and give them the direction and the wisdom that is coming from above. With all those words, Lord, I pray not because I deserve, but because I trust you with everything that I am and have. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you very much, Andronine. I always say we've got a lot of talented people working at this institution. We will proceed to point number 4. Rihanna, you may proceed.
Good morning, Speaker. Good morning, Executive Mayor, Deputy Executive Mayor, Whip of Council, Aldermen, Councillors, and officials present. Speaker, for the council meeting dated the 29th of October 2025, in terms of item 4.1, I can confirm the following attendance of councillors. We have Councillor September, Old Lady Wolmerans, Old Lady Ndai, Councillor Meyring, Alderman A. Strubel, Councillor Malloy, Alderman Ter Blanche, Alderman Chaba, Councillor Gungubele, Alderman De Vries, Councillor Cornelius, Councillor October, Councillor Marby, Alderman Swart, Councillor Louw, Alderman Cronje, Councillor Windfine, Councillor Krieger, Councillor Totu, Councillor Curries, Councillor Wigwaard, Councillor Taute, Alderman Mashua, Councillor H. Strubel, Councillor Mkontu, Councillor Kannemeyer, Councillor Babuma, Old Lady Reiters, Alderman Johnson, Alderman Lambergine, Councillor Van der Roos. Those speakers are all the councillors present. With your permission, can I please move to the officials? Thank you, Speaker. We have Mr. Stratu, Mr. Boshoff, Mr. Daniels, Mr. Menzie, Mrs. Raisa Mlandu, Advocate Davids, Mr. Loliwe, Advocate Makateni, R. Matthews, C. Van Wyngaard, Mr. H. Peters, Ms. L. James, Ms. M. James, Mr. R. De Yankee, Ms. N. Klaas, Mr. M. Mashila, Ms. L. Hoek, Mr. K. Nieuwoud, Ms. M. Smith, Mr. D. Stoffels, Mr. J. Kumpio. Those speakers are all the officials present. We move to item 4.2, councillors with leave. Speaker, committee services did not receive any apologies. I'm not sure if the councillors maybe would like to render any apologies, or the officials would like to render any additional apologies towards this meeting. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you. Before I allow the MM, there are 2 councillors that have asked if they can leave early. It is Councillor Van der Roos as well as Councillor Bavuma. So they will just give an indication when they are ready to go. And I think the mayor will also have to leave a bit earlier today. So as soon as they leave, then you can just make a note for our record purposes. MM? Thank you. Any other apologies? If there are none, then we can proceed.
Speaker, if we move to item 4.3, councillors without leave, I did not mention the name of Councillor Mankapa. So he's absent.
Councillor Sam online.
He's not online.
But as soon as you join, then you can just note it.
I will do
yes,
so, Speaker. Thank
Councillor.
you.
Alderlady.
Thank you, Speaker. He reported to me that he had a disaster in his ward. So.
Thank you, councillors. Thank you, Rihanna. We move to point number 5. That's the noting of the provisions of Schedule 7, Code of Conduct for Councillors of the Local Government Municipal Structures Amendment Act of 2021. Point number 6, disclosure of interest by councillors and officials. Is there anything that we need to disclose? MM, you may proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Good morning to yourself and all leadership. I would like to declare my interest on the in-committee item dealing with the fees for the attorneys.
Thank you. Mr. Daniels, you may proceed.
Good day, Speaker, councillors. I would like to declare my item on J4 and J5. Thank you.
Thank you. That will be recorded as such. Councillors, then we will proceed to point number 7. That is my communications. You have received an addendum. We will deal with that under G1 in our normal agenda. You have received that separately. I just want to say something before we proceed about Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And pink is normally the dress code for this, but where is this coming from? It is referred to in the United States as a National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and it is an annual international health campaign organized by major breast cancer charities every October to increase awareness of the disease and raise funds for research into its cause, prevention, diagnosis, treatment, and cure. So if you can remember, we over the district, and I believe our staff members also participate the last weekend, the past weekend in the event. So that's why some of us are wearing pink today and some of us are wearing pink ribbons. I didn't ask the men because sometimes they're not comfortable wearing pink. But that is the reason why some of the ladies are dressed in pink today. So observances of the event have faced criticism for corporate involvement by drug companies as well as instances of pink washing associated with the event. So it was founded in 1985 in partnership with the American Cancer Society and the pharmaceutical divisions. And the aim of the National Breast Cancer Awareness Month from the start has been to promote mammography, it's known mammogram in Afrikaans, as the most effective weapon in the fight against breast cancer. But I also just want to mention in closing that it doesn't only affect women. Men have also been affected by breast cancer, but sometimes men don't want to speak out. They are not as open as the ladies are that will speak about these things. So that is just in short about breast cancer. And then we've also got a birthday boy today, Councillor Kontu. I just want to wish you a very, very happy birthday on behalf of council. That is. Thank you. Please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Kontu. I know you were listening. Thank you. Councillor, so now I will hand over to the man of the moment. Mayor, it's your turn. Outgoing Mayor. It will be his last day, the 31st of October at 12. At night. At night.
Good morning, good morning. Looks like they don't want a special meeting tomorrow, so yeah, it seems to be the last one. But yeah, council, everybody, thank you, residents of the Ghana route. As you know, the last of this month is the Marine Coastal Month, and we as the Ghana municipality had different outreaches to clean our beaches. I want just to thank you and highlight the importance of the marine life as well. As you seen, where there was a lot of fires, everybody asks you, when does the fire season start? I normally say when the mayor sees the fire chief more than his wife, then the fire season started. So, but it started many months ago. We had major fires. We dealt with all the fires as the Ghana route, as a team. And I just want to thank everybody that, again, saved lives and infrastructure as far as possible. Then a big concern for myself, but also for our disaster team, Mr. Otto and the HOD, is regarding bulk water infrastructure. As you know, you can see the dams in our region. It is not as it must be at this time of year. The winter rain stayed away. The influx of all the holiday makers and visitors is upon us. And what are we doing as a district municipality? As you can see, we've put out a podcast. I know Mr. Otto will be having a meeting with all the municipalities tomorrow. I'm not at that meeting, and trying to help each other mitigate measures to safeguard our holiday season and also the influx regarding tourism. So at this moment, we're quite concerned regarding this, and hopefully enough rain will fall quite soon. And then regarding the tourism, staying on that, as you all seen, for the last 16, 17 years, everybody was trying and struggling to get the Outer Nikwa Chuchu up and running again. And I'm happy to say, for those that don't see me on Facebook, the agreement was signed between the private company and Transnet 2 days ago. And it's not now anymore a pipe dream, it's a reality. It will happen. Why is that important? But it's not only the train, it's going to be skills. They're looking for personnel to fix up the line, but also maintain the line for 25 years. So it's not just for 12 months jobs. That is something that is critical. And then furthermore, along the route, they will be fixing up infrastructure of Transnet, old stations. And in that stations, there will be markets and stuff like that. It's job creation, it's tourism. It is what we need as a Ghana route. And we are all very happy and excited to see this. The first part of the line between Knysna, I think, is up until more or less Sedgefield. They try to be up and running on the 1st of May next year already. And then the full line between Knysna and George within 24 months. So hopefully that will happen. And hopefully I will still get the invite to on the first ride. So yeah, hopefully and speaker. Then, as you know, we must be holiday and season ready. I'm asking you to go back to your councils, make sure your lifesavers are in place, your beaches are clean for the blue flag beaches, your safety teams and departments are in place, law enforcement, public order, and everybody else that is needed. Please make sure everything is ready for our tourists, because it's going to be a bumper season, and I'm definitely seeing forward to high occupancy rates throughout our establishments. Then we held the toughest firefighter competition in South Africa. It's a prestigious occasion. We had international visitors as well, participants from international countries as well. And we as the Ghana route did extremely well, and just want to congratulate the Ghana route team, but also the B municipalities fire teams that participated. It's more about winning. It's not about that. It's about participating and encouraging and highlighting this important career. What made me happy was seeing the youth there at the event, and everybody is just happy to be a fireman sometime in the near future. Then I must highlight this because sport is alive in the region. I just want to congratulate Evergreens that won with 1 point over Heidelberg in the rugby match. Sorry for the Heidelberg fans. I actually vouched for them. But yeah, the Evergreens won that game, and there's nobody in the room that supports Evergreen. But yeah, just carry it over to them, please. Thank you, Mr. Stoffels. I do believe you will carry it over. So with that said, let's move on. I had the privilege to attend TEDx. TEDx is an international platform and I was one of the chosen people to do a speech at TEDx. It was an excellent event, and I just want to thank the organizers of this event because it's an international platform that please, if anybody can attend and have the opportunity to attend, please attend next year's TEDx event in George. It is something amazing. It's wonderful. But I just want to congratulate Councillor Mukonto as well on his birthday. Happy birthday. It's always important for you and your family. But as you all know, my public life and as a politician and as a mayor and as a councillor is coming to end on Friday night at 12. Please don't phone me on Saturday morning. I'm going to be sleep a bit in. But yeah, I'm happy and excited for my new future. But with that said, strive to be successful, not to be important. Important people are seldom successful, but successful people are always important. And I always say, don't be that leader that's more in power, more in love with power than with the people. And I want to end off, en is ongelukkig in Afrikaans, but yes, we've got Afrikaans viewers as well. Gee my 'n man wat sê wat waar is, as die duiwel nie daar is. Wat doen wat reg is, as die regter weg is. Wat trou by sy gewete bly, as hy straf in plaas van beloning kry. Sien jy Langehoven, baie dankie.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Mayor, if you can just stay there, please. I will first ask the Deputy Mayor. So my iets nie daar, staan nie daar, jy en die Mayor moet mos nou praat.
Voorrecht om samen met u te converen. Dat was een voorrecht om samen met u te converen, met die democratische en consultative leadership style. Dat heeft onze platform geskipt waar elke stem gehoor en wat weer kon worden. Die het geleid met integriteit, vision en in die lijst heb ik die geleid, maar ja, en dat zal achterbrengen ons mee. Dat is altijd een eerlijke zal maar die eigenschappen van een succesvolle persoon. En ik geloof en ik weet dat wat die nog gaan doen van bij het succesvol is. Zo alles dicht van die platform te mij. Maar ik heb nog niet aan het lopen, ik zie dat die bloemen gekoopt, maar je toe was ik nog, kom koop die bloemen, maar die bloemen zullen het vol, maar je wat die vermoesteren, en gedurende de tijd dat die moet samen met ons doen. En dan is het, als je niet het punt ook niet beslist. Ah, dit was het, is het.
Nee, is nog nie klaar nie. Die geskenkies kan maar neergesit word. Sit dit maar sommer neer daar. Die hoop wil ook nog iets sê. Yes, die hoop het 'n hele speech. Yes, Mayor. The hoop heeft got
Thank you. I'm gonna keep the Bibles close. Not sure what that means. It's very short and it's in English. Honorable Speaker, MM, officials, fellow councillors and esteemed guests. Today marks an end of a chapter, one defined by dedication, integrity, and an unwavering service. As Chief Whip of this council, it's both my duty and my privilege to say farewell to a leader who has left an incredible mark in this municipality. Mayor Struble, your tenure has been nothing short of exemplary. You stepped into this role with courage and conviction, and from day one, you embraced every challenge with a calm resolve and a clear vision. Whether the issues was complex or contentious, you never shed away. You led from the front, not with bravado, but with humility and with strength. What set you apart was your ability to communicate, not just to speak, but to truly listen. You brought people together across party lines and community divides, always with honesty and with transparency. There was never a hidden agenda or a moment where your integrity was in question. You were and you will remain a servant leader in the truest sense. Your legacy is not just in the policies that we passed or the projects completed, but in the trust that you built and the example that you have set for us. You reminded us that leadership is not about power, but it's about purpose. As you now step into the next chapter of your journey, we wish you every success. May the road ahead be filled with opportunities continued service, and a well-deserved rest for this weekend. You leave behind a council that is stronger, more united, and deeply grateful. On behalf of this council, thank you, Mayor Strubel. You have served us well.
Baie dankie nog 'n keer.
Yes, Councillor de Vries.
Unfortunately, we don't have a gift. But I think I want to start to say that I want to put it on the record myself and the council whip. We didn't caucus and we didn't have a meeting. I just want to say that as we start. I wanted to respond on other things, but I think today it's about the executive mayor. So I've prepared something on behalf of the caucus and as for the ANC. So let me start. Honorable Speaker, Mayor, councillors, officials, and members of the public. Today, we mark a moment in transition in the leadership of our district. Executive Mayor Strubel will conclude his term, as he said, on the 31st of October, and we mustn't call him after midnight. It is therefore fitting to pause, to reflect on the journey of the past year, to express appreciation, and to draw lessons for the work that lies ahead for all of us. Speaker, leadership is not always about the length of time one serves. It's about the quality of service rendered, the integrity with which decisions are made, and the humanity one brings into the room. Mayor Strubel, in your time, you demonstrated a decisive leadership style, combined with a willingness to listen, especially to those who differed from you. And also remind this morning that although it was not always that you agree with us, but I think that you were open and have taken our views into account. Even afterwards, you might not have agreed with us. For us as the opposition, this has not gone unnoticed. It is easy to lead when surrounded only by agreement. It takes maturity and commitment to democratic values to open the door to dialogue with those who challenge you. With that spirit of engagement, we extend our sincere appreciation. Yesterday, in your final mayoral committee meeting, you said something. I was sent here for a reason, to address certain matters. Garden Road was in the middle of a desert, and I had to help to lead the organization out of it. I believe in fairness and humanity, and I know that stability is the key. My goal was to rebuild the brand. I'm not sad to be leaving. I'm excited for the road that lies ahead. End quote. Honorable councillors, these words deserve reflection. Leadership is indeed often calling for a season, but what stands out firmly in this statement is not only the awareness of the challenges faced in the Garden Road, those of stability, organizational coherence, and public trust, but also the clarity of purpose expressed when he said, my goal was to rebuild the brand. We agree with this because a municipality speaker is more than an administrative entity. It's a living social contract of our people. Our brand, if we use that language, is not a logo or a slogan. It's the daily lived experience of residents where our communities feel seen, where the services delivered reaches them, whether they believe in council, and whether the Garden Route remains a place of zero. The project of rebuilding trust in the brand is not the work of one mayor or of the governing party. It's the responsibility of all of us, every councillor, every official, every committee, and every decision that we have made in this chamber. And I must give a bit credit because communication is here and Herman is going to hit me. I must give credit also, I think, for our communication department for the excellent work that they have done and actually to assist our brand to be out there under your leadership. Each one of us, of course, then plays a crucial role in this collective responsibility to rebuild our brand. Speaker, we acknowledge that leadership transition often speaks about political speculation. I've asked this morning everybody is mum, nobody want to say who have applied. But today is not a day for speculation. Today is a day for respect, a day to recognize service rendered, a day to affirm that even across political lines, even across ideological differences, we are ultimate custodians of the same mandate to serve the people of the Garden Road. Mr. Wool, your journey doesn't end here. The road, as you said, lies ahead with new opportunities. We as the ANC wish you well with strength, courage, good health, and purpose. May the leadership lessons we have gained here continue to guide you. To Council, I want to say, let us make this moment to recommit to respectful engagement, to stability, to fairness, and humanity. Values the outgoing mayor articulated. Let us build our district that our people can recognize as theirs. And importantly, let us continue with the spirit of listening. And I'm glad that the whip of council have mentioned that, and that we will remind the two of us, the incoming mayor, about that. Because progress is not found in echo chambers, it is found in dialogue. Thank you for your service, and thank you for reminding us that leadership is about building trust, not only holding office. We wish you well on the road ahead. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Alderman De Vries. Thank you. Yeah, I see but there's another mic. Oh, it's as well. Yeah. You may proceed, Councillor.
Thank you, Speaker. Meneer, u volgt mijn stoel. Jullie die elkaar vertrek ook een manier en vertrek in huis. Dank u vir die leierskap wat u kon bied by GRDM in hierdie tyd. En as goed vir ons die sterkte toewens wat u ook al sal aanpak in die toekoms. Dankie, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Akker.
Speaker, I don't want to repeat what everyone has said, but just to say that I agree with it. Mayor, it was a pleasure working with you. I'm glad that I was not you. I read a lot in the words that you quote, and I see in it some of the reasons why you are leaving, and I understand that. But from our side as well, it was a privilege working with you. En sterkte met alles wat jy aanpak vorentoe. Jy verdien goeie dinge.
Thank you. Thank you. So with that said, can we proceed? Oh, my apologies, Councillor Mabi. Hoe kan ek jou vergeet? My apologies.
Speaker, dankie. Thank you very much, Speaker. Good morning, councillors, executive mayor, executive deputy mayor, Speaker, honorable councillors, and administration. Yeah, I think I was looking now at ways as to how I can express myself on behalf of my party, but I couldn't come up with anything as to say thank you very much, Executive Mayor, for the way that you've served your district. I've known you for a very short time only, but in the time that I've started knowing you, I learned a lot. I've done quite a lot in terms of the fact that, or the way that you conduct yourself in this council. Yes, at times it was not an easy go, but well done. You've outdone yourself, and you've showed many of us how to lead even when days are tough. So with that said, I would like to congratulate you. Go and rest well, man. Vergeet nou van die politiek, vergeet van die district, and focus it. Because there comes a time where you need to start focusing on yourself and start focusing on your family, you know. Because when you're a public servant, you tend to give everything to everyone else except yourself, except your family. So I hope that you're going to enjoy your life going on. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, councillors. Then we proceed now to point number 9. Communications by our MM.
Good morning, Madam Speaker, again. Executive Mayor, Deputy Executive Mayor, Alderman and Alder Ladies, councillors, Council Whip, and colleagues. I stand here on behalf of myself and on behalf of the administration I lead to say a few words on the occasion of your departure, Executive Mayor. I did speak yesterday in the mayoral committee, and I referenced certain dynamics affecting leadership and impactful leadership. My colleagues know I don't write speeches. They are only written later when I'm finished speaking. And that's how it has been, and today is no different. But, you know, I thought maybe it will be fitting if I just quote one very well-known and important passage from the very famous contribution by Charles Dickens. Those who know Charles Dickens was incarcerated in Paris just before the revolution in France and was released and went to live in London with his daughter. And he said it was the best of times and it was the worst of times. It was the age of foolishness and it was the epoch of belief. It was the age of wisdom and it was the epoch of incredulity. Close quote. I thought that passage for me describes the period we've just had with you, Executive Mayor, as our leader. You joined us just over a year ago, and it feels like a lifetime. As the administrators, we are always told to prepare for the unknown because we have no control as to who will lead us. But we can control what we can do to ensure that they succeed. As I stand here today, we have fond memories and we do have sad memories of what the year was. On the occasion of the strategic engagement in Swartplay last year, December, when we were closing the year, yourself, Executive Mayor, surprised all of us when you called me into the stage and presented me with the book, the book of Tony Blair on leadership. That was just about 6 months into the job. And that event signified the whole period we've been together, how you value my contribution and the contribution of all these administrators that are here, the staff and everybody. And whatever happened beyond that did not change that understanding. We are aware as officials that we work in environments that we cannot control, we cannot change. But we rely on leaders that are honest, leaders that are fair, leaders that believe in humanity. And I think these are the choice words that were in your speech yesterday that were quoted by Councillor Chris. So as you leave us behind, we want to say thank you for your leadership. decision making is not for the faint-hearted. All people that have not been exposed in decision making are the best people that can tell you how to make decisions. But those people that must make decisions on an everyday basis will tell you that decision making is the most difficult thing one can do, and only leaders make decisions. If you don't want to lead, then don't get yourself in a position that would require to make decisions. And decision making does not mean you will at all times take decisions that are supported by everyone. There are decisions that you will yourself regret, but you have to make, and there are decisions that you will always be proud of. And I think in the tenure that you have had with us, you have been able to navigate the course in good and in bad times. And we can't fault you for the decisions you made. I think we may say we don't agree, but we understand. The environment and the careers we chose are what they are. And we say wherever you go, we wish you all the best. Thank you for leading Garden Route in difficult times. In your speech, you said you found us in a desert with the hope that you take us out of the desert. We hope that your objective has been realized and that those of us who are left behind would ensure that we're actually out of the desert. We hope that the choices you have made going forward will be fulfilling to yourself, your family, and those that are close to you. And wish you every success in your new endeavors. Yesterday, I mentioned that there are certain units in the organization that we could see that you are very fond of. And one of them was the firefighting unit. And today they have, with their HOD, which I'm going to call to come forward, Ms. Raisa Mlandu, have prepared something as a token of appreciation from the firefighters to yourself, Israel, to say thank you for your leadership and contribution to their cause. On behalf of all those firefighters that did not sleep, that were fighting fires and you supported, we would like to hand over this certificate from them. Okay. Madam Speaker, that then concludes my speech. Executive Mayor uhambe kakuhle. Uthi xoxolo abe nawe ayenze ibe impumelelo indlela yakho. Inkosi.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you very much, MM. And I think the mayor is also grateful for the appreciation coming from the firefighters chief. Thank you. Councillors, also nog klaar tranerig geweest en can we proceed with the business of the day? 10.1, it is the minutes of a special council meeting that was dated the 30th of September 2025. And you will find that on pages 7 to page 26. Can I have a proposal and a seconder for the correctness of that minutes, please?
Speaker, I propose.
Thank you, Councillor Cornelius.
I will second, Speaker.
Thank you, Whoop. Councillor Creer. Then we proceed to point number 11. That's the minutes of a mayoral committee meeting and section 79 committees for notification. You will find that on page 27 to page 46. Proposer and the seconder, please.
So propose, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Cronier. Thank you, Councillor September. We proceed to our standing items. Task team report on the roads function transition, page 47 to page 118. With our recommendation on page 48.5.1 under point 5, 1 to 6. Councillors, let's therefore deliberations, comments, point of clarity. Yes, Councillor Cronje.
Speaker, I want to propose to accept the recommendation, the report.
Before I take a seconder for the last time, nobody wants to ask anything. Yes, Councillor. Councillor Mabi.
Yes, Speaker, just one question with regards to this item. The 24 people that has been, that will need to be placed, can we get some finality or some sense as to where they will be placed and in which departments?
Yeah, are there any other questions? To you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. If I may just firstly make some corrections in the mayoral committee. Before the item was agreed to, there were 2 or so corrections made on the figures that are reflected in the report. The number of the additional staff is not 24, it is 29. Which then changes the 337. But that's the number that changes 24 to 29. Where they are coming from would be from the support departments. Yes, so they would be from support departments, Madam Speaker, like HR, finance, I think mainly, and I mean, SCM is finance and so on. You will know that, Madam Speaker, that we said there are employees whose employee in this organization mainly serves the functioning of the roads department. If you take the number of tenders that we do per annum, a greater percentage of that is done for the roads department. And when those employees, when the roads department is no longer here, those employees become redundant and therefore are needed to still continue their work there, including the stores employees in the SCM. If you look at our recruitment and disciplinaries and everything, the HR function, over 80% of that job is related to them. And therefore, those people must go. In any event, the law says all support functions that are tied to that particular function must be transferred with the function in terms of section 197. So over and above the ones that you see in the organogram, the 337, we say therefore garden route is saying add to that the 29 to give a true reflection. Otherwise, we are going to be left with a burden of people that are redundant basically in our organization. And the law is on our side that they should be transferred with the rest of the staff. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I thank the ability for this report that at least puts us picturing things of where we are. Our concern is just that we seem to be ahead of the game as a body, and things are being finalized at a rather slow pace. And I'm concerned that this might go beyond March. And we need to ensure as much as possible that this is finalized by March. Because anything beyond March is going to cost this municipality money. Because we're going to be picking up the same expenses that we're picking up now. In the past, the roads stores function was paid for by the department. And now, since the 1st of April this year, they're no longer paying it. So we are now paying an extra $1.5 million for stores personnel, which about 98% of the function is towards the roads function. So my concern is this, that if this does take longer than anticipated, it's going to have a financial effect on municipalities. So I just want to stress that to the people involved in these discussions. Make sure that we try and get this resolved as soon as possible, certainly before the 31st of March. And so with those amendments that the municipal manager has made in terms of the 29 staff members that are affected in addition to the road staff, I'll say the item.
Thank you. I will take that secondment now. I just want to allow Councillor Mavi. Is that a follow up?
Yes, Speaker.
And then Elder Lady Lechaba.
Thank you, Speaker. I think Councillor Swart has covered part of what I wanted to raise also as a follow-up. Because the thing is here, when looking at the report, it says here, for instance, on page 47, I just try to check the paragraph now. It says here, additional to 24 support staff positions has been identified for potential transfer, but there is a disagreement with the department on whether these positions are included. Now, my mind with regards to the question is, if they're going to be transferred, if those support staff are going to be transferred with, or if the intention is to make them part of those ones that are going to go to the DOI, and the department has not agreed as yet, and we are sitting here with less than about 5 months left before they are actually supposed to be starting with the department, then we are actually posing a risk of having either the whole package still in the garden, as Councillor Swart has stated, which will then mean that we will have to bear the cost. And that is, to me, it's totally worrisome, Speaker, because once we can go back and refer back to that very first meeting where the minister came here and made the announcement, and ever since there was processes put in place, but the action plan, especially from their side, is not in our favor at this stage. So I don't know. Thanks for that.
Thank you, Elder Lady.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, mine is that I think it is only correct that council needs to be given a hands-on updatement on this matter. Because if we're going to wait for meetings, it's going to be problematic. We have 5 months that needs to be concluded. In the event that is not concluding, what is the alternative? Because it's got financial implications. We know that we are not looking good. Also, there is another area that whether the department has paid us already, there was that we're not paid yet, some obligations. So you see, it has some ripple effect that can have a bigger implication in terms of our financial standing. So I think it's very important that we need to be abreast. We need to be able to say what are the bottlenecks and where one can cancel, so that we can be able to unlock the bottlenecks. If it's from the administration side, but if it's from the political side, then politics needs to come in and intervene. Because 5 months now, this council, we can be bankrupt because this was one of the fundamental functions that was bringing the revenue. And now we are asked, if the department is not taking, we might take that responsibility on ourselves, and we do not have those income. We know how is our situation. The landfill is not working yet. We only rely on grants, the MIC fund. So we have to be able to intervene in this matter. I just want it because 5 months can go very quick. There are holidays coming. So by the time this will be on our lap, and then we might be having some challenging on our side. I think the incoming, by the way, there must be somebody who's responsible beside the administration. Somebody must be responsible to take us to the financial, the MMC for finance. You need to take us through in this thing so that we are being kept abreast what is happening. Speak up, please. Thank you.
Maya.
Speaker, yes, thank you. Regarding what everybody said, I can't fault it. But we as the Ghana municipality, and that's political and administration together, must do our part. So have we done our part? Yes, I confirm we've done our part. We're actually ahead of the other district municipalities that's also in the same process. But how long will we wait before we act from our side? And that's the question that needs to be answered. I don't have the answer, but what are we doing to get that answer? So that is why we included recommendation number 7, and that is key. The council approves the formal engagement of National Treasury, Provincial Treasury, COCTA, and the Department of Labour to participate and provide oversight and guidance, and you can read the rest regarding the roads function. We need to get all the stakeholders now on board, and especially regarding Department of Labour. Myself and the Deputy Mayor spoke about this yesterday, and what is really near to my heart is the administration and the personnel. And I don't want to see a single one losing their job because of this. So that is why we included this. We are asking now council for their guidance here, how to safeguard that personnel. And I hope council will support this because it is vital. I don't want to have any surprises next year. I won't be here, but still, I will feel at fault when it happens. So please support this, and hopefully they will guide us as well.
Thank you. Anything you want to add, MM?
Madam Speaker, just to clear the air, we received the proof of payment on Sunday from the Department of Infrastructure. And maybe lastly, Madam Speaker, just to appraise councillors, we are doing everything on our part, as the Mayor has said, but the process is not led from our side. So we had already one local labor forum meeting where we involved labor, and there's a process being followed from that. At MENCOM on Monday, we decided that much as there is this disagreement, we are going to send the letter confirming the list of the additional staff that they must consider on top of that 337. So that work is underway. SALGA is also involved as the representative of municipalities. We saw correspondence yesterday from SALGA to the department asking for an urgent meeting as well. So we are on our side doing everything. We are as concerned as everybody. Thanks, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. So, councillors, then we proceed. It was proposed by Councillor Gronier and it was seconded by Councillor Swart. We proceed to section A, that is reports from the Speaker. A1, nomination of delegates to attend SALGA NMA National Members Assembly, and it's going to take place on the 25th to the 27th of November. The report is on page 119 to page 124. We've got the recommendation on page 120, 51, 52, and 53. And what is important in this recommendation is that council nominate a councillor to vote on behalf of Garden Route District Municipality at the NMA. Councillors, it's open for discussion. Questions? Yes, is it Councillor Malloy?
Yes.
Thank you. You may proceed, Councillor Malloy.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I would propose that we go with the recommendations, and if we send 6, we send 6, but if we send this, then it also be a saving to council. So I would say that we go with the recommendations, and from our side, we recommend that the mayor would possibly, or the incumbent mayor was coming in, going, as well as the MPEC chairperson and the municipal manager
That is people for this. Thank you. And oh, sorry, and the deputy mayor. That is our proposal, and I would propose that we go with that. Thank you.
Can I just be clear, councillor? You've said the incoming mayor, the impact chairperson and the deputy mayor in the MM. Am I correct? Okay. I see a hand there at the back. It's first Councillor Mabi, then Elder Lady Lachaba.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I'm a little bit worried when reading at this recommendations because we are now speaking. I heard now they're speaking about an incoming mayor, and that is just my point because also on the agenda we're already speaking about the end of the year and the closure of the offices in December, which means that I'm not sure whether we're going to have another special meeting now before the 27th, where we're going to elect a new mayor. But my aim is that in the absence of the executive mayor, which has resigned and which term will come to an end on the 1st or the 30th of the end of this month, meaning that the deputy executive mayor will then take over the powers of the executive mayor. So why should we then put in there the deputy mayor also? Because he will be acting as the executive mayor. If my memory serves me, and if I'm wrong, I need to be corrected here because that is what I'm reading here. But with that said, with recommendation 5.3, then I would then propose the name of Councillor Donson to be voting on behalf of the district. Thank you.
You are proposing, do you have a seconder for that? Or are we first going to listen to the others and then you will maybe retract your proposal? Elder Lady,
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, on my side is that I think council must start to be conscious of when we are doing decision and also in terms of the ruling party that we need to be able to also consider in this position women. Now we are finding ourselves that it is only, there's no representation of women in there, and we must find a representation of the woman. We can't be going on like that in this time that we are in when we make this decision. It's very important. What are we saying out there outside about women representative? So I propose that you put a name of a woman in one of those positions.
Maya?
Yeah, thank you. I just want to, I'm not gonna go against anybody. I just want to clarify one or two things. Number one is maybe the new mayor is a woman and then we sort it. But yeah, but let's see. Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, okay. The speaker is also invited, but we spoke to the speaker while we caucused and she declined, and I'm not going to go into why, but maybe she's good. So a woman was invited, so she declined. I just want to clarify that thing. And the reason the deputy mayor must be actually mentioned here is because Salga doesn't get involved in politics. So we called Salga and said, listen here, we are in a transition phase. How are we going to deal with this? They said, no, we must mention the positions, whatever we send them. So, and that is why we clearly want to mark the deputy mayor. But what Councillor Marby said is not wrong. If there is by that time not a mayor, the deputy mayor stands in. I agree with that. But we're not sure, and we must plan for all eventualities. So that is why the mayor, and if not, the deputy mayor council already made a decision. And then the speaker can't go, and then the whip of council doesn't go, cost saving, and the chairperson of impact goes, and the MM and not the CFO, again, cost saving. If you want to add a woman to this, I'm open to it, but the council needs to decide. If you want to add a woman, speaker, thank you.
Councillor, thank you. You heard the mayor. Jullie, we gaan niet gaan.
is anybody, because I'm not Salga, but is Salga open to council can send any?
I've asked that yesterday, as long as council is paying.
Okay,
As
so
long
we
as
can't,
council is bearing the cost.
it can be, doesn't need to
Any
be
council.
Baiko or
No, it
whatever,
can be any council.
any councillor.
It
Okay, I
was
just want to clarify that. I'm not going to say your name. You can. but thank
Yes,
you.
just bear with me. I've asked is it PEO? Mr. Khalil? I've asked him yesterday. I phoned him and he said council is going to pay for the delegates. So it's council's prerogative whether it what is in there in the as they have outlined, or if councillor want to send another councillor because councillor is paying for it. Thank you. Alderman, daar's nog een mic. Yeah. Okay, councillor, can you please just switch off? Switch it on again.
Thank you. Speaker, as the governing coalition seems there's no women available, I would like to propose Councillor Chapa as a delegate.
So
Speaker, I would like to also, Councillor Chava, Alderman Chava. Yeah, maybe I can second this.
yes, Speaker, we are of the idea that we should propose Councillor Somaya Ndai to go there if we need to have a woman going there. Thank you.
Do you have a seconder, councillor? Because I've got a seconder and a proposer this side. Councillor Reiters. Yeah, it's already been seconded by Councillor Reiters for the name of Councillor Ndai. We've got a proposal from Alderman De Vries for Councillor Lechaba, and it was seconded by Councillor Rosa Low. Mayor?
I didn't want this to be a difficult thing. But yeah, I can't talk on my own. They can't fire me because I'm leaving already. But but I think we need to caucus if they want. But I just want to speak to them regarding sending maybe 2 women.
5 minutes, please.
And then
Mayor.
we also need to address, because that is not mentioned, the vote. Who is the voting delegate?
Yes.
That
Mayor?
must also be included, and that, in my opinion, that's the mayor. And if not, it automatically laps to the deputy.
5 minutes, Mayor. You can go. 5 minutes.
Let's caucus.
5 minutes.
Very Speaker.
Thank you, thank you. 5 minutes has expired. Thank you. Settle down, please.
Is die meeting nog aan, speaker? Of hoe?
Councillor Hoogbaard, it was just a caucus, a day caucus for 5 minutes. We're proceeding.
Dis reg, dankie speaker. Ek sien my Lloyd.
Thank you, Speaker. Can I proceed?
Yes, thank you, Councillor.
Thanks, Speaker. Speaker, we have convinced ourselves to stay with the positions as proposed by Salga there. We also, I also want to retract my proposal that we should send Councillor Sumaya. Thirdly, the voting delegate there would be the mayor or the deputy mayor if he did. So I would stick to my original recommendations. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor. So, councillors, then we are back to what our recommendation is saying, but there was a counter proposal. There was a counter proposal, so I'm just going to consult. Thank you. So we're going to vote on that. Before I take you, Councillor, just to be procedurally correct. Councillors, all those in favor of Councillor Malloy's proposal? Online. Yes, Councillor Sumaya's hand is up. Ek weet nie wat het nou van Councillor Hoogbaar. You. Akker, we voting again.
Anong verschoning voor een family?
Thank you, Speaker. Thank you, everyone. For the proposal of Councillor Malloy, we have 22-4, so that will stand then.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Alderman.
Speaker, just in terms of procedures of voting, I didn't recall that the other proposal was put to the floor. Because the speaker just announced.
There was there was 22 for the proposal of Councillor De Vries that was duly seconded by Councillor Low that we sent Elder Lady Lachaba. All those in favour? Councillor Sam Nkontu and Councillor Sam, for record purposes, he has joined us a while ago. There is one online. Is that Councillor Nkontu next? Councillor Sam, are you not going to vote?
I am voting with my caucus, Speaker.
Thank you. So it's 2 online. Two online, eh? 2 online. And the abstentions. Thank you. Thank you, Wap.
Thank you, Alderman De Vries. For Alderman De Vries, his proposal, we have 11-4, and then for the proposal of Malloy, we have 22. So Malloy will stand in this one. Thank you.
Very much. Councillor, so we go with the recommendation as it is on page 120, where the council nominates the mayor, or the mayor. We've said the mayor. We're not going to mention anything about the deputy, because if it is the deputy at that stage that is saying that is the acting mayor, then you will be the voting delegate. Yes, okay. We must just make sure that our recommendation is correct. Yes, you may be excused, Councillor.
Speaker, can I be excused?
Yes.
My second flag is in the
Okay, but you're coming back. Okay, thank you. Yes, Councillor Swart.
Thank you, Speaker. I want to second it, but I just want to be sure of what I'm seconding. So the recommendations, number 1 stays the same. The 5.2 is that we're going with the SAGA recommendation, but not sending all of those positions, and we're sending the executive mayor, the municipal manager, and the impact chairperson,
and the
deputy mayor
yes.
as well, because of the mayor's situation that we have as well. So that's what we're proposing in terms of the delegates. And then that council nominates the mayor. We're not going to put a councillor name, but we're going to say the mayor to vote. So if the deputy mayor is acting as mayor, then it will align. So that's, if I'm clear on that, then I will second that. Thank you.
Elder Lady.
Yes, thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I just wanted to say that it is with disappointment because look, in Salga, we have been sent to stand for the woman, and we are always been given the bad stick at the garden route. One of the bad ones that we are not giving enough women a space to be represented. So I just wanted to state that, and I think, Speaker, you know that. they've came to you a couple of times that Garden Route, you are not giving women space to lead and also to be able to participate in things. So I just wanted to put that on record.
Thank you, Councillor. It will be placed on record. Councillors, we're proceeding to section B1, Mayor, section 52, page 125 to page 173.
Speaker, yes, thank you. Regarding section 52, I know all 55 councils read through it quite good, but I'm going to highlight a few stuff. This is the section 52 report up until 30 September 2025. And I just want to highlight, I'm not going to read through it, regarding what is going on percentage-wise. So we need to have a look at revenue by source. So it is divided into 4 quarters the year. Excuse me, as you all know, 25% at each quarter. So the 25% is the benchmark. So with that said, the revenue by source is 27%, so it's 2% more than the benchmark. So the revenue, the income received, that is quite good, and we are over our target with 2%. But that is normally regarding the transfer dates of grants and stuff like that, that the effect of that. But it's a positive effect on this side. Regarding expenditure, so you must always try to have the expenditure under the income. And as you just said, 27%, so anything 27% or less is good. So in this case, it is 21% is the expenditure for the same quarter regarding that. And then regarding salaries, I always have a look at my salaries, and that is the same benchmark, 25%, and the salaries is standing at 22%. So that's 3% less than we anticipated. Regarding council remuneration, because that's separate from administration, and that also stands at 23%. And the reason why that stands at 23%, because normally you can quite perfectly budget for council expenditure, but the upper limits, the new upper limits, is already budgeted for and worked into the 25%, and that is not promulgated yet. So as soon as that is promulgated, this council must make a decision if we want to back pay or not, but that's already budgeted for, and that is why the 2% difference is there. So regarding the spending on contracts and that stuff, normally I say we need to have that more than 25%, because that means you are implementing service delivery, and this sits at 18%. So it is less than 25%. But I think they will pick up. As you all know, supply chain, the first month is always paperwork and all that stuff, and new systems opening up and the order book and that stuff. So I think they will pick up on that one. Regarding spending on operational expenditure, that is on 17%. That is the day-to-day costs and all that stuff, the operations of the municipality. That is actually not a bad percentage. Then on capital, the one that always is an issue is I think it's 4%. 4%. And we've got 1 or 2 capital projects, as you know. It's not the B municipality for 170 of them. One is the landfill site, and you all know what's going on there, and we can speak to that on the item that is in here. But I do believe that will, within the next quarter, will exceed the normal 25%, because then the expenditure must catch up. As I move on, just want to highlight 1 or 2 ratios. There was a rumor going around that Ghana Root's not able to pay this and this by end of year. I'm not sure who is the custodian of that rumor, but it's a good rumor, because then me as the mayor had a second look at the finances. So thank you for that rumor. But I think that person doesn't understand finances, so you can come with a class to me. Regarding the following, we are not, we don't invoice per se for rates and taxes, as you all know. Only fire services and health service here and there for certificate. But we need to be stable regarding our cash flows. So one of it was, just to mention, the MM. One is the outstanding normal claims from DOI that is paid now. So thank you for that. That's the one thing. But the other thing is, we get the first week of December, I think it's our second batch from national for our grants. That's the first week of December. That's a big amount. So with the payment one and the other payment coming 1st of December, we are quite in the clear for the year and in advance. So yeah, I just want to clarify that. But don't believe me, believe the liquidity. Liquidity is the benchmark is 1.5. If you're anything near 1.5, you're in trouble. And we are hovering regarding 3%. We are at 3.02 last time I spoke to you, and now we're standing at 2.9%. So it's more or less the same. And I do believe with the money that came in now and will come in December, it will spike again over 3% for the next quarter. So yeah, we are quite okay there as well. Regarding debtors is always an issue, fire related. We can have a debate all day long on that. Debt to ratio, to revenue ratio, that is what we in versus what we owe. And we're standing at 50%, 30.7%, and the benchmark is 50%. So we're 20% under it, so it is quite good. Thank you for that. And when the roads function leave us, that ratio is something you moet 'n valk oog op hom hê. You must monitor that one quite good. So I'm just going to give a tip for the council regarding that one. Then interest paid to total cost ratio, that is 3.56%, and the norm is 7.5% for all municipalities. We as the district municipality actually only got one loan. We are not a B municipality taking out loans every year. We only have the one, and that is for the capital project of the landfill site. So even if it is looking not great, it is not bad because we don't need a loan to pay salaries, and that is excellent. Then the bank balance, it is off now because that amount that was paid is not included here, but you can have a look there as well. The bank balance at 30 September was more or less 61 mil, but we had the 50 million coming in, so that is 90 something mil now, if I'm correct. And then in fixed deposits in call accounts is 90 mil in fixed deposits. So I'm mentioning that because a lot of people look at, and I'm calling this the closed shop calculations. And you can go back to your municipalities and ask them for your CFO. On page 154, and I'm working now on my micro agenda, oh, no, it's my council agenda. There's a column that's on the top is 30 September 2025, and then you can see what is our cash position when we close shop today. And that includes a big sum that we don't need to pay out normally, and that is all employee benefits reserves. So if we close the shop now, can we afford to close it, yes or no? And I don't think a lot, maybe a single one can say they are on the positive when they close down, but you can see and look at that. But you must, if you want to see the true cash balances of the municipality, you must deduct the employee reserves fund, because that is, we're not going to close shop. So that is something we must cater for at 58 million, but we don't need to pay it now. But that's also included in the figures. But with that said, everybody, the ratios at the back, or the KPIs, sorry, at the back, there's one or two KPIs, not too many. We've got a KPI of the expenditure of the roads budget. That is at 26% actual, and that's the reseal program, and it must be at 50%, so we're 4% off on that one. And then also on the landfill side, as you know, there's no surprise there, but that will pick up. And then the other one, the last one, the target is 1. It haven't been submitted yet, but I think it was tabled at impact. I wasn't at impact, or will be tabled at impact, is regarding the submit the operation clean audit report, progress report on the quarterly basis. That one is still outstanding. I'm not sure if that one is tabled or not. Was it tabled? Okay, the MM confirmed it was now tabled at impact, so we're actually in the clear there as well. So I highlight this, I don't hide this, so that everybody know what is going on financially and KPI wise. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor. Just switch off the mic, please.
Sorry.
Any questions for the Mayor? Questions of clarity? If there are none, Mayor, can we go with the recommendation? It's on page 1 to 5 that council notes the quarterly report on the implementation of the budget and the financial affairs of the municipality for the year to date and the quarter ending 30th of September 2025. Proposed by the Mayor and seconded by Councillor Swart. Thank you. Our next item, section C, C1, as the establishment of a disciplinary board and its functioning, page 174 to page 191. Councillors, their recommendation are there on page 175. And it states also there, in terms of regulation 4.6, who that people must be that is serving on that board. So it's open there for discussion or any questions of clarity. Who's you, Councillor Strubel? Yes, Mayor Strubel, you are released. Enjoy the retirement. Thank you. Yes, Councillor Hilton Strubel.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I'd like to propose that we go with the recommendations.
Councillor, jy praat sag vandag, your voice is a bit soft. Councillor Hilton Strubel has proposed Alderman de Vries.
Because this is a question of clarity, because council must approve correct this report. That's why I didn't see. Now, on page 175, there is a name for the chairperson, the Garden Road Chief Executive. We know that's a person who's moved the position, doesn't have to come again. The issue around the manager, first it's a position in the municipality, so that might be another person or actually. One that I'm a question on this here, a senior manager from the legal division from another municipality. We don't know which municipality, we don't know the name. How do we approve that? The other two, where there's no names, that's understandable, because it's linked to a person in the municipality. But we are asked to approve, we don't know who the person is.
Thank you, Alderman.
Madam Speaker, I thought it's a good thing that you don't know. Because it ensures the independence of the committee, that it's not been influenced at the political level. But with your permission, Madam Speaker, I will ask the advocate behind me to just explain. Thank you.
Advocate Kaya.
Thank you, Speaker. No, I think that one came as advice from National Treasury. You would note that in the regulation, they also mention National Treasury, they are available, but their advice has been that they do not have capacity to be going into disciplinary boards of municipalities. They therefore request that municipalities should consider other legal managers from any municipality in the district. Now, because of issues of availability and all of that, you can't necessarily put a name. So this means you can go to George Municipality and request for that specific meeting, a legal manager there, or Black or Nisla. So that's why you can't put a name. Let's speak.
Thank you. Are you clear, Councillor? Thanks. Thank you. So you are seconding Councillor Hilton on this. Yes, Elder Lady.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, just wanted to ask in terms of, if I can get clarity, in terms when it's a senior, like when it's senior now, whether it's a CFO, it's a MM, and so forth, what do you do? Because the reason why I'm saying that one also had to cater for special circumstances of such nature, you know. I just see that it's a bit silent on those when it's actually a very senior person. What happened?
Through the email, Councillor Kaya.
Okay.
Okay, email and then Advocate Kaya.
Basically, when the Speaker, this board is established for senior manager. And the persons selected are selected because of their professional integrity. For instance, the chairperson of the board is a member of the audit committee with legal expertise, independent of Garden Road. The other persons, for instance, your chief audit executive by international standards, they remain independent. And the two other senior managers are expertise in their field. So, but this board is established for purposes of senior managers. But I will also again, Madam Speaker, with your permission, defer to the expert behind me just to go next.
Good, Kaya.
Okay. Okay, thanks, Lisa. No, I'm glad that the question was asked because one of the things I wanted council maybe to take note is that if you look at the work that this board is supposed to do and the status in the municipal hierarchy, it's very similar to MPEC. And sometimes you would even think there is sort of duplication in their functions because of the level where it's placed. But the difference really is that MPEC is made of political representatives, whereas this board is made of technical people, bureaucrats, so to speak. So that's one. But the second part is the MM is correct. This board is for anyone who is an official of a municipality, whether they are senior managers or working in whatever section. And the names of the people who are in that recommendation, for instance, you'll see come straight from legislation. So the legislators in their mind believe that those positions will be independent because of, as the MM said, affiliation to whatever boards. I, for instance, as a lawyer, I'm affiliated to the Legal Practice Council. There are ethical standards that I have to abide by, similar with the internal auditors and others. So I think that's where the controls are. Thanks.
Thank you. Yes, Councillor, what?
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, from my understanding of this item, that's basically council acknowledging that it needs to appoint a new disciplinary board that consists of those members. Now, and those members serve for a term. So I'm assuming then that once the new board has been appointed and we have names in there, that those are the names for the term, that council will then be notified to the members of the disciplinary board. So what the process is. That would solve a lot of the issues about use on the board because it's for a term. That's what this would like to tell.
Okay.
And thanks, Speaker. I'm not sure if that assists, but remember the board must report to council on each activity. So in the report to council, it will tell you exactly who are the members of the board who are sitting there and all of that. So it's not a secret to council, but so you will know through that manner. But I don't necessarily think it would be wise to bring a special report because I said, for instance, if you look at that senior manager, it may change. So it's not as if you can say council here, the 4 people, whatever, for the next 3 years. It changes as depending on the availability. But how will council know it? Because every item report of the board must come to council for you to resolve it. So you get to know then who are the members. Thanks.
Can I get a second for Councillor Stroebel's recommendation as it is on page 175? Thank you.
Chairperson, sorry, Speaker, I second.
Thank you, Councillor September. Councillors, we proceed to C2, report on the submission of the workplace skills plan and annual training report for the 2025-26 financial year. The report is on page 192 to page 232 with a recommendation on page 193. And the recommendation says that council take note of the report. Questions of clarity? If there are none, can I get a proposal and a seconder, please?
If there's none questions, I would propose.
Thank you, Councillor Creer.
Speaker, second.
Thank you, Councillor Van Wyk. Section D, deviation report. Implementation of the supply chain management policy for the period 1st of September 2025 to 30th of September 2025. The report is on page 233 to page 238 with a recommendation on page 233, 5, 1 and 2 that has been noted, says it's in 1. And 2 is also that has been noted that in terms of section 114 of the MFMA Act 56 of 2003, there was no approval of tenders not recommended in the normal course of implementing supply chain management policy of a municipality. Questions for clarity? If there are none, can I get a proposer and a seconder, please? Councillor Swart?
Thank you, Speaker. Yeah, Speaker, the deviations again are mainly single supplier. And what does crop up in some of these deviations is attorneys that are busy with cases that and attorneys that are no longer on the panel. And this has been a concern for some time, but that is covered in another item that will be dealt with in this council meeting. So I propose to go to the recommendation.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder for the councillor? Thank you, Councillor Ter Branch. D2, cost containment reporting, Q1 of 2025 to 2026, page 239 to page 244, with a recommendation on page 239. And the recommendation that council notes the measures implemented and the decrease in expenditure in Q1 of the 2025-26 financial year through the implementation of cost containment measures when compared to Q1 of 2024-2025. Questions for clarity? If there are none, can I get a proposal and a seconder, please? Thank you, Councillor Swart.
Thank you, Speaker. Yeah, Speaker, it's I want to thank everyone for their cooperation in helping us to get to this figure where we can actually save money again compared to the first quarter last year, which was a saving in the year before. So we managed to save last year first quarter and save even more in this year first quarter. So well done to everyone for efforts in keeping our costs down. And I will with that recommendation.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder for Councillor Swart?
Second, Speaker.
Closure for festive season and salary payment date for December 2025. It's on page 245 to page 251. Councillors, the recommendation is there on page 245. It's 51, 52, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And it says there that the Roads and Transport Planning Services Department be closed from the 12th of December 2025 at 12 until the 9th of January. And then opening on Monday, the 12th of January at 7:30, and which is 16.35 days annual leave. Then point 2, that the rest of the GRDM departments, excluding emergency staff, will be closed from the same date until the 2nd of January, opening on Monday, the 5th of January at 7:30, which is 11.32 days annual leave. Then I will skip 3 and 4, then 5, that the 12th of December 2025 will be the salary payment date for the organization. And then in 7, it's just stating what the law says, the constitution, that the executive mayor, Alderman Strubel, and the municipal manager, Mr. Stratu, or his successor entitled, be delegated and authorized to perform all official council duties, responsibilities, and functions during the seasonal closure period 15 December until the 2nd of January, with the exceptions of section 162 of the Constitution. And then it's stipulated day. Councillors, there you have it. We will receive our salaries on the 12th of December. Any inputs, Alderman De Vries?
Speaker, just under the personal recommendation, I will assume that we have done, that we have consulted with labor, and that
MM will respond to that.
basically falls then in a way as a council take decision. So I just in terms of what we as councillors know that we are doing this with consent of labor. My view every year is that we pay that we are getting our salary to early in December.
Oh, MM, can you just respond on the first that what Alderman De Vries have asked?
Indeed, Madam Speaker, this item is consulted with Labour. So what we say as management is what Labour expects. Thank you.
Any other inputs, Councillor Mashua?
Speaker, on this note, I want to propose, but before I can propose, we decide in this side of the house that the payment date must be on the 19th of December. And that is also our preference.
So your proposal is that the 12th is too early.
Yes.
The money will be. Councillor September,
I second that proposal, Speaker.
I see Councillor Alderman De Vries want to say something before I take your second.
Just a question for me personally, I agree with that. But if that decision is impact labor, what was discussed with them? If a person goes and leave, I'm not sure in terms of whether people expect that. As councillor, I totally agree. But again, labor relations, let us not have a fight with labor. Thank you.
Amen.
Madam Speaker, what we have experienced is that this notion that people is too early are gonna use their money. They said we're insulting them. We think they are not responsible enough to manage their affairs. And they told us we must get out of their affairs and make our decision. So this whole notion that it's too early people are gonna spend money, we no longer discuss it with Labour because we know the response. They don't want to hear us asking them that your money will be finished because they say it's insulting. Because they are fathers and parents of households. We can't be saying those things about them. So as management, we listen to that. We don't want to get into a fight with them. And that's the expectation. And unfortunately, the practice for many, many years here has been to cater for them to travel home. Many of them they come from the Eastern Cape. So the practice has been to assist them to get home. If you tell them that you have had your bonus again, they say, who are you to get into my affairs? What do you know I do with my money? So that's the debate. We no longer engage as management. We agree with Labour, and this is the position. So whatever council decide is council decision. Thank you.
Yes, Councillor.
After hearing all that, I'm going to stay with the seconded proposal, Speaker.
Yes, Councillor Swart. Can you just? Thank you, councillors. We're back in. Councillor Swart.
Thank you, Speaker, for allowing us to have a few minutes. I'm sorry that we went over a bit. Speaker, the thinking behind the 19th was in terms of trying to make people's pay last a bit longer. Because we know the earlier you get paid, the quicker you spend it. So if you get paid on the 12th or the 25th, by the end of the month, you've got nothing. And that was the thinking behind it. And also the fact that it's thrust on us now, leaving you really no choice, and it's not discussed beforehand what we're going to do. And that's part of it where council is basically being forced into a decision that it was not part of. But we've reconsidered and looked at possible ramifications and consequences of leaving the date. So we are happy to go through recommendations as they stand, and that the 12th is the day of pay. But next year we need consultation first before it's just decided by the administration. So I will propose that we go through those recommendations.
Thank you, councillor. So the recommendation stays as it is.
And I would like to second that.
Thank you. Thank you, Alderman. Oh no, we will take the Alderman's. Okay. So there's two seconders, don't worry. It's Councillor Mashua as well as Alderman De Vries.
No, I concrete me.
Well, okay. The council is withdrawing. Thank you, Councillor Mashua. So it was proposed by Councillor Swart and seconded by Councillor De Vries that it stays as it is. Thank you. Yeah, ons gaan nie nou. Councillors, thank you. We proceed to section F. There's a progress report of the Roads Department for July and August. Page 252 to page 263 with a recommendation on page 252. Council takes note of the report. Questions of clarity? Iemand se foon? Councillors, if there are none, can I get a proposer and a seconder? Nadat dankie, Alderman Ter Blanche. Yes, councillor. Propose and second. Ons is by, ons is by section F. F1, by die Roads Department. Dankie, councillor. Ronja?
Speaker, thank you. Before I table the report for the council to note, I want to thank the Roads Department for their hard work and dedicated work the past few months under very, very difficult circumstances and under pressure with the budget. I therefore want, I thank them. I therefore want to propose that we take note of the report. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I have a seconder if there are no questions of clarity? Thank you.
Second.
Thank you, Councillor Mashua. Councillors, we will proceed to the addendum G1. It is the status update on the properties disputed by NISNA. It's on page 4 to page 16 on that addendum. With our recommendation on page 6, it is quite a lengthy recommendation. You may proceed, Councillor Hilton Trubel.
Speaker, thank you very much. Speaker, on this item, I think before I give some inputs that I would like to make, and also a recommendation, but I think before we do that, we know that this item is actually a very sensitive item with history, but with your indulgence through you, Speaker, to the administration, if we can just maybe be taken through and then I will just do the recommendations. If that's problem.
Thank you, Emin.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we, as councillors would know, have had this outstanding matter to resolve with the Knysna municipality. And as the report says, a meeting was held last week between the delegation of Garden Route and that of Neisner. And we want to say that it was one of the best meetings we've had with Neisner in a long time. We had open discussions, and I think there was a meeting of minds. It culminated in the proposals that we presented in front of you, which council must take into account and approve, after which we will then send to Neisner, and they will then go to their own council meeting and confirm that by resolution. There is just one aspect that we want to highlight, which is the accommodation for our environmental health practitioners. The meeting agreed that at the conclusion of that session, our Mr. Compion will then meet with the responsible official to discuss the modalities for our accommodation. However, we were not satisfied with the type of accommodation that we received. The lease expires on Monday, so we have had to make alternative arrangements for our people to remain accommodated. We are saying that that matter must be included as part of the deal. That part of the deal is that Neisner municipality will afford Garden Route District with accommodation for the environmental health practitioners. That is in terms of the applicable legislation included, but not limited to OHS, the building regulations, and so on. And that should be a condition of the whole deal between Garden Route and Neisner. We say this because that was the original intent, that when we gave them the Rex Drive property, that they will accommodate our AHPs, but now that is no longer the case. But the meeting itself did resolve that that should be the case. It's between now the officials to actually get the right property. I think that was the spirit, Madam Speaker, of the meeting, and we believe that it is a good deal for the municipality. We also discussed the issue of the leasing of our own property by Neisner to private parties to run at a restaurant. You will see that is the property on the backpackers site. The meeting resolved that that lease will be ceded to the Garden Route District so that we can make money from that. Speaker, that's all my recollection on the summary of the report. With your permission, I'm going to ask Mr. Mashila or Mr. Menze, maybe to just, if I've left any crucial matter for the benefit of council. With your permission, Madam Speaker.
Mr. Menzi, oh,
Madam Speaker, the MM is covered. Everything that was discussed, and Mr. Mashila is also concurrent with it. In fact,
so
he said there's an amendment on the resolution that the MMC will cover when he's finalizing his presentation.
and to make sure that there is nothing from Mr. 1959, but you have covered me on that one.
If I may, Madam Speaker, with your permission, because we want to be as transparent as we can, why do we have a problem with the premises offered to us from after that meeting? Just like maybe to ask the officials to share the pictures so that you can see why we said this is not acceptable to us. Because somebody might accuse us of being intransigent or arrogant and maybe demanding things that are not necessary. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. So, Rihanna, you will share it with us, please. Terima kasih, asseblief. But it's supposed to be an empty building. No? No, wat is even daar? Wow. Okay, MM, so just to be clear, this was a building that they have offered.
And we're supposed to occupy it on Monday. And just a rough estimate of what is required for us for this to be habitable, it's around 160,000. And that should be done by this weekend. Somebody must be there by Monday to occupy. So that's why we said it's impossible to do it. We'll make alternative arrangements, but then pursue the resolution of this.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Councillor Strubel, you on the floor?
Thank you very much, Speaker. So just on that note, so when we saw that yesterday, in Mako, I've spoken to, I took the liberty, the Speaker, to speak to the officials in Iceland and told them that we are I'm very unhappy. Because yesterday when you flagged these pictures, I was very ashamed to see that Iceland's properties look like that. So we are hoping that we will get somewhere within the system. So Speaker, just
Chair,
on,
before you go, are you going now to the recommendation?
yes,
Because the Councillor Mabi want to respond, please.
Yeah, Speaker. Let me start off by saying thanks to the MM, the Mayor and his team that attended this meeting, which was long overdue. I for one was eagerly waiting for an outcome because of this long overdue dispute between Iceland and the district. I remember the last time when I was still in Iceland, we had engaged on this. It was a very, very sensitive matter at the time. But Venus and May, Speaker, I welcome this, but as the chairperson rightly pointed out, Iceland mustn't come and play games here. I want to put it on record here. They mustn't come and play games. That building has been redundant. It's been standing there for quite some time. It has been used in the past by the NISNA educational something. And there's no way that they can ask for us to send our staff in there. Now I understand why they can't even get a rezoning in the building that they are currently utilizing as a planning department. But they need to get some alternative space for us because we are making way for them than we have. Now they have to make another plan. Even it needs be that the MM should perhaps ask them to pay for the remainder of our staff staying in that current building that they are staying in. But they must give us a better alternative because the buildings that they receive from the district is in a much better condition than this stukje gebouwtje wat laat ons zo afsmeert. Thank you.
May proceed, Councillor.
thank you very much, Speaker. So then I will just go to the recommendations and then you will see there's a recommendation 1, a recommendation 2, and a recommendation 2. There's a spelling error. It reads the joint meeting held on the 22nd October 2025. It will reveal. It will just be corrected to remain. Then Speaker on recommendation number 3.1. We just want to change the word there. It must be must, and must be transferred to Cape Nature and or Sand Parks. Get Sand Parks next to Cape Nature. And then recommendation number 4. Number 4B, we just want to add the following. at the end of the sentence, we want to add that the current lease agreement be ceded to Gardner Road District Municipality. And then 5 will stay the same. 6 stay the same. Then 7 must read as follow. That a permanent office space to be provided by the Nyasa municipality to the Gardner Road District Municipality, which must be in a habitable state, which complies with all applicable legislation, which includes but not limited to occupational health and safety and national building regulations and building standards act. Then recommendation number 8, that the transfer agreement be entered into between the parties once effect is given to resolution number 7, and then on the recommendation number 8 becomes recommendation number 9. And that becomes I would like to propose.
I hope the administration got that. Yes, Councillor Swan?
I'll second it with those changes.
Yes, Alderman?
Question just in terms of the issues that the MM have raised. The assumption will be that relation 7 and 6 must fit into those issues. The amendments that were made strengthening in terms of our position, but also legally that it covers us. So the question then, it doesn't change the agreement that was made between the two municipalities where I saw the delegation to mayors was there, so that whatever the tweaks that we are proposing, that doesn't change actually the agreement as well. Just in terms of we can have clarity on that, and then I will ask in the caucus. So,
Okay, you can go then, Mr. Mendy, you can just respond for the email. Yes, Councillor Marvin?
Yeah, Speaker, just if with the indulgence of the chairperson, under recommendation 3.2, of 2790 George Rex, be subdivided with the portions comprising of the golf course and the electrotechnical service offices be transferred to the Nyasa municipality. Is that perhaps, and I'm just asking, that we can add to that recommendation to say that once the transfer has been done, that Nyasa should not sell off, especially that portion of the golf course, and that it may remain in the for public access. They can add that condition to it.
Can you just respond on what Alderman has said? MMO, Mr. Mendy?
Madam Speaker, firstly to Councillor De Vries, yes, we are just reinforcing the whole resolution, deal between Gardner and Nyasa. I think we're not detracting from that. We're just amplifying those salient matters. The condition now being proposed depends on council, but may upset the whole thing. Because I know that Nyasa will want to be allowed to independently make decisions on what happens in the properties once transferred to them. But again, it's up to council to make a judgment call. Of course, nothing stops you from saying we want this condition on the title deed. However, we must just look at the bigger picture. I will not collapsing the whole thing. We're going back to problems, but I think it can be discussed. Because legally nothing prevents us from saying we want this condition, but I just say it might upset the whole deal and cause more problems. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. MMC?
Thank you very much, Speaker. Speaker, just a question through you to the MM, maybe also tongue in the cheek question. for instance, what will we do as garden room when Eisner, for instance, come back after they've now produced and agree or somehow agree with what we have now decided, and they say, but listen, you know, on Swartflake, we want you also, everything must stay the same, nothing must happen, we mustn't sell it off, etc. I'm just thinking, how will we then deal with that, or am I now putting the cart before the horse? But I think that boils exactly down to what Councillor Mabi is now suggesting in terms of the board. Thank you.
Then I will grant the caucus to the ANC.
No, Madam Speaker, it's not a straight thing that I can say this will happen, but I think both council would like to take their own decisions on what they want to do with the properties when they are in their name. So again, it might just upset the deal if Neisner tells Garden Group what to do with its own property. So I think it's incumbent on both council to appreciate that these two councils must also still remain autonomous to make their own decisions. So if you encumber a property that you give them, then you limit their decision making on what they want to do. Probably Neisner might have some good things they want to do for their people in Neisner with the property, but your condition that you put might limit them. So that might just be a spanner on wax in the whole thing.
Yes, Councillor Swart?
Thank you, Speaker. My concern is if we are adding things in that were not part of the discussion, it could derail the whole process, and we actually, I think, in a fairly good position to resolve something that's been going on for a long time. I'd like to see something that wasn't discussed there, we try and force it in, and it derails everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Glenn. You can, the 25th, can you be back by our first? Thank you. Our first one.
Yes,
You get to see customer. Thank you, councillors. Thank you. We're back in session. Can Mr. 1959 close the door, please? Must close the door for us, please. Thank you.
Speaker, thank you. Having listened to the MM and the responses, we would like to agree and would like to second the amendments that was made by the MC. Thank you.
Okay, you know, verbaas nou of... Sorry, MMC? Did you hear what the alderman...
Yes, Prophet. Alpha.
No, what did he say?
Sorry.
What did he say?
He's no, the speaker he said he's seconding me. Speaker, muni probeer.
No,
speaker.
because you were now, your aandag was een beetje afgetrek.
Speaker, you should never forget I'm a ward councillor and my geographical area is the biggest in Knysna. I've got 5 VDs. I've got close to 10,000 people in my ward. Thank you, Speaker.
So is that your answer now to whatever? Okay, so thank you, councillors. So can we go with it? Thank you. As amended by the MMC, Hilton Struvel and duly seconded by Alderman de Vries. That is very important that we must add that. Councillors, that brings us to the end of the open part of our meeting. Thank you very much for everybody that have tuned in via YouTube. Councillors, you must remain, but the meeting is now adjourned for